Good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is our Success Mentorship class number 190. Wow. Whew, what a day, folks. I tell you, we have had an incredible session last week. We talked about actually facing the facts where we are right now in our time in our lives and at this point in the year as we begin to close out the year. And today, this is class 2 of a 4-part series. And today's topic is making life changes for your success. I'll say that again. Making life changes for your success. Wow. The thought is that we want to close out this year strong. You know, wherever we end this year is where we begin next year. So we want to close out this year strong. What can we do to close out strong so that we start next year stronger? Before we get into that, I want to do our meditation. So let us just sit straight up in our seats for a moment. Let's close our outer eyes and open our inner eyes. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this state of rest and relaxation, we are at peace with ourselves. I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Once more, I am at peace with myself. Let that peace just sink in as we affirm. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. All right. Wow, wow, wow. We are ready to roll today. Thank you so much. So many of you have joined us on Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Mansa Musa, my good friend. Fowler, yes, Sade Diva from the Dominican Republic. And we have our friends from India. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today, you know, this topic really, really gets my attention because once we have assessed where we are, once we face the facts and really acknowledge where we are in our lives, then that next step is, what must we do? Are we willing to identify and make the changes necessary to create the life we desire to end this year and to prepare ourselves for the life we really desire as we start next year? And so it is in this consciousness that we look at how we move. In our last class, we did the Ben Franklin method, where we assessed where we were. We call it face the facts. And at that moment, we really looked at our victories, the things that we did well, all of our victories, all of the flowers, all of the good things we accomplished, the good people we met, the good habits we developed. And we also looked at our lessons, the things that did not work, the things that disappointed us, the things that were just not the way we wanted them to be. And at the point after we faced the facts, we came to this conclusion. Number one, if your life has been going pretty well, you've done pretty well. When we look at last year, look at the year that we're ending now, things went pretty well for you. You had some success, you met some good people, you accomplished many of your goals. And so really, all you need to do as you close out this year to prepare for next year is to make a few minor adjustments. Make some, just tweak it a little bit. You're on the right track. You just want to tweak it a little bit. On the other hand, we have people, many of us who are at that situation where whatever we did last year, we definitely don't want to repeat. That our thoughts, we had failures, we had more lessons than we had victories. And so many of us at that point said, you know, we need to make a major overhaul. We need to do some serious renovation. We need to change this entire dynamic as we close out this year so that when we go into next year, we're in a better position. All right. Clara, Dawn, for joining us from Barbados and Mississippi. Thank you so much. And so with us being at this point, we say, what are the steps to put us in a position to make the life changes now to prepare us for next year? So, number one, I call it, we got to live by the book. The vision, the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Let's put it in the neutral. Write the vision plain upon tablets, that they may run who readeth it. Though it may tarry, wait for it, it will surely come to pass. And so if we want to close out this year and set ourselves up for next year, get a notebook. If you don't have a notebook, and folks, just get a notebook. You don't have to worry about whether it's pretty or not pretty, but get a notebook. You may already have one. Get a notebook that you can write in now, because what we're going to do now is document this process of transformation. Also, get a planner for next year. We have to live by the book. By the book, our success will come. So that's step number one, to live by the book. The next point is this, that we must be able now to make a recovery. When I say this, when we've had one of those years where, man, and you know, with the pandemic and all the things that have happened, so much uncertainty, I guarantee you that many of you have gone through some things we say, wow, whew, this is a year I really want to be over. Winston Churchill once said that success is really about moving from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. And so as we close out this year, as you have your notebook and buy your planner, stay enthusiastic. Keep your vibration up. Be hopeful. Recognize that our life is really a continuum. That our life is really, you might say, an interrelation of many, many things. It's a holistic thing. In other words, if we look at our lives, everything is connected. We have a personal part of our lives. We have a family part. We have a professional part. We have a financial part, a spiritual part, and a community part. So there may be some other areas, but as we begin to look at how we want to close out this year and how we want to start next year, it's important to take this holistic approach, because we so often see where when one thing is out of balance, it's all about balance, then everything else is affected. So even though you may have extreme financial success, if you're not getting along with your family, that's a challenge. If you've really abused your body to get there, you've worked and you literally put yourself in a bad physical position, it's not a good thing. You may have cut yourself out from your community and your neighbors, it's not a good thing. So look at this holistic approach, to look at these 6 areas and address each area. Now, this is going to sound like a lot of work, because it is. But this is the foundation for change. You know, if you ever go to New York and you ever watch them build a skyscraper, okay, for a long time, for many, many months, you see nothing. You see, they put the fence around. All you see is a hole because they spend more time laying the foundation often than building the structure, because the foundation is that platform in which everything must rest. And so what we're looking at now is how do we lay the foundation, one, to change our condition because we still have days left in this year, and then two, to prepare ourselves for the new edifice, the new dream that we're going to build next year. And so step 3 is to ask yourself the 9 questions. Now I'm a retired attorney, and as a lawyer, the key method to get the truth when you're representing a defendant or a plaintiff, the idea of being in court is to find the truth of the situation so that the jury or the judge can make a decision based on facts, truth. And the way, as a lawyer, the way that you determine truth is you ask questions. You've seen some of the different trials, high-profile trials we've seen lately, and the case is won or lost in the questions that are answered. That's a key portion. And so to start now to look at these questions, what questions can we ask ourselves that can lead ourselves to the point where we can finish strong and open stronger? I call them the 9 questions. And let me tell you, folks, in each of your areas, I recommend that you take a page in each area of your life, of the personal, of the family, of the business, and do it for each area. Don't shortchange anything, because remember, it's a holistic life that we live. So the first question, question number 1, what were my goals for this year? Now, this is a tough one, folks, because when you ask yourself that question, you should be able to pull up your planner, your current planner that you should have, and look at the goals that you've written in your planner. So what were my goals for this year? And look at it in each area. What were my personal goals? You know, maybe my personal goals were to lose weight. Okay, I think that was one of my goals, and that was it. How did I do? Maybe another personal goal may be to get into a good relationship, get a promotion on your job in the professional area. So in each area, look at what were your goals for that area for this year. If you had not approached it in this diagnostic fashion, it's okay. Still look at it, you might say, retrospectively. If the house that you're in, especially if the house that you're in is not the way you want it to be, you need to look at it from the ground up. Maybe the foundation was not correct, and that's why the roof is off. So what were my goals for this year? Question number 2, am I happy with my performance? Did I lose the weight? Well, I'll say personally, I did. Did I lose as much as I wanted to? Nope. Okay. In your business, your financial area, did you accomplish the financial goals? Did you save the money you wanted to save? Did you get yourself out of debt? Whatever these goals were, are you happy with your performance? And when you take each of your goal areas and you answer that question, well, I'm not happy with my performance in my personal area. I did not achieve the goals that the weight loss that I wanted. Okay. I am excited about my goals in the financial area. I was able to accumulate the amount that I set out and more. In my professional area, maybe on my job, I should have gone for a promotion and I didn't do it. So if you're happy with your goals, why are you happy? That's question number 3. Am I happy with my goals? And if so, why? It's important to write that out. Why are you happy with the performance that you did to date in the particular areas? Question number 4. If I'm not happy with my performance, I didn't achieve my weight goals, I didn't achieve my financial goals, why not? And it is in this diagnostic approach that you now begin to see sort of what you've done for the year. You know, the proof is in the pudding. If you say, man, last January I wanted to save $5,000. That's about $100 a week. Okay. And here I am now in the end of the year and I have saved doodly. Okay. Why didn't I save doodly? Maybe I spent my money on frivolous, unproductive endeavors. So if not, why not? Question number 5. Now, this is a biggie. What could I have done to improve my performance? What could I have done to improve my performance? Mm, mm, mm. Now, this question says, what are some of the things that I could have changed to get a different outcome? Well, maybe I should have joined the gym. You know, to think that I could really be my own personal trainer, clearly that has not worked. So maybe that's what I need to do to improve my outcome. I need to join a gym. Maybe I need to take a little bit more time before I embrace people too closely. Yeah. Sometimes we rush into relationships. So how could I have improved my performance in the relationship area, in the family area, in the personal area? Maybe I need to take a little bit more time before letting people that close into my space. On my business, perhaps I should have been a little bit more diligent about going for that promotion. Maybe I took it I didn't take it seriously enough. But when you start writing down what you could have done to improve your performance, that is very revealing, because now you're setting up in your mind ways to handle that next year. Number 6. What will I not do again? Make a list of the things you won't do again in your personal life. Maybe I'll drink less. Maybe I'll stop putting off things that should have been done today, putting them off. Things that should have been done last week, I'll stop putting them off. What will I not do again? Maybe I won't rush into a relationship again. Maybe I'll go to, what is it, Steve Harvey had the 90-day rule. I don't care what a person does, how happy, how perfect and right they seem, let them hang around for 90 days before we move this relationship to the next level. Maybe I'll change my diet. Maybe I'll change my habits. But this question here is really a serious learning experience, because when you look at this thing, say, what will I not do again? It now gives you a frame of reference as you begin to go forward. When you write down all the things you will not do, it will amaze you that you've done them in the first place. It's like, man, last year I did the same thing, and the year before I did the same thing. When you look back on your life and you start looking at these serious experiences of the things you won't do again, it begins to prepare you now to solve this challenge. Question number 7. What must I do to improve my performance next year? Now, this is a power question. What must I do to improve my performance next year? Perhaps I need to be a little more patient. Now, what this question does is now creating the foundation for next year's reality. So maybe I need to be a little more patient in dealing with myself. Stop beating up on myself when I don't accomplish what I set out to do. Be a little more patient with my family. Maybe I need to make a budget. When I look at my finances and see where I am financially, then, something I need to do to improve next year, I need to make a budget, and I need to live by that budget. Perhaps I need to make more money. What do I need to do to increase my income? What changes do I have to make in each and every area to improve my performance next year? Now, the beauty of this is as you're doing this diagnostic now, you'll begin to implement this plan in the immediate basis. You see, there's always one time that you have to change your life, and that is always now. And so when we start asking these diagnostic questions and writing down some answers, we're now putting us in a position to make a move. Question number 8. What will happen if I improve my performance next year? Wow. Well, if I improve my performance next year, I'll lose the weight. I wanted to be 174. I started out at around 200 and I got down to 190. So I got a little bit more to go. But wow, next year to picture myself at 174, man, I got stuff I've been saving, some leather jackets and stuff I couldn't button up. Woo! I'm ready. Maybe in that family. Now I see myself now, instead of having discord at the dinner table, I see everybody being very respectful. I see my kids, they put the phones down. I put the phones down. My spouse, my significant, has put the phones down. Maybe I'll work a little harder now for that promotion, okay? So if I do this, then next year I can see myself being on top. I can see myself in that position on my job that I want to be in. So the idea is that if you improve your life in this specific ways, then this is how it's going to be. That gives you a vision, folks. That gives you a target to go for. And then finally, the 9th question. What will happen if I do not improve my life next year? What will happen if I do not improve my performance next year? This is that question will keep you from repeating that cycle of failure and disappointment. When you can see what your life will be not if you do not improve, so you may look at it and say, well, guess what? If I don't make these changes, then next year I'll be at the same point I am this year. Einstein said insanity is doing the same things over and expecting a different result. So when I look at these 9 questions, what were my goals? Am I happy with my performance last year? If so, why? If I'm not happy, why not? What could I have done to improve my performance? What will I not do again? What must I do to improve my performance next year? What will happen if I do improve my performance? And finally, what will happen if I do not? Now, folks, when we deal with these 9 questions in each area of our lives, even if you spend a week, even if you spend 2 weeks doing it in great detail, you have laid a foundation now for next year that's going to make a profound difference in the outcome you'll have next year this time, when you're saying, these were my goals and I got it done. So when we look at this and we want to create the life of our dreams instead of the life of our fears, instead of the life of our negative emotions, imagine that life is like a river, ever flowing, a river flowing into the ocean of eternity. And on this boat, on this river, you are a boat. And as a boat on this river, you have 4 things that help you navigate the river. Number 1, on your boat, you have a rudder. And your rudder is your value system, your core values, the things that you will and will not do, what you really represent. A value such as honesty. You see, your rudder helps you make proper choices. One of the key rudders is that honesty and that sense of humanity. In other words, one of your key rudders should be to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If that is a rudder that guides your life, you'll treat other people differently. And as a result, you'll get different results. So this rudder is your value system. One of the challenges today with our young people, many of our young people don't have what I call grandparent wisdom. You know, many times when I talk to Sandra, Sandra talks about her grandfather and how when he died, he had over $50,000 in the bank, and he always had a budget. He was very diligent, very intelligent about how he spent his money, how he circulated his money. And so this rudder is often that value system that can come from your grandparents, your parents. And when we are in an environment like we are now, where we have, you know, children raising children, where we have so much of a child's education coming from the media, from the telephone, from the TV, it's very possible to have let's just say an ineffective value system. You see, the interesting thing about the rudder is this: the river of time is always moving. And you either have a rudder to guide you, or the world mind will guide you. And the world mind is based on three things: profit, power, and pleasure. And so your rudder has to be that thing to help you navigate through this world mind to where you want to be. The second thing you have is an engine. And your engine is your deep desire. So to really be effective on the boat that is your life, you must have something to desire. And that's why goals are so critical. You know, the principle says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where you have no vision, where you have no goals, then your engine can't really operate. You don't even need an engine. You just go with the flow. But your engine is the deep desire, the thing that moves the boat when there's no wind. Your desire is the thing that can make your boat go against the grain. When everybody else is doing one thing, you can do another. You know, sometimes when you're on your path and you share your goals and your vision, and people throw negativity on it and tell you all the things you can't do, you cannot be, you cannot have, it's your desire that helps you get through that. You know, deep desire is something that where you say only success, where failure is not an option, where even if it looks like you fail, it's not a failure, it's a lesson to help you get better. And you see, that desire is the manifestation of energy. And you know, E equals MC squared. Energy equals manifestation times the speed of light. So your desire is the level of your energy level directed towards a particular outcome. You know, I think of that poem by Rudyard Kipling, If, and it says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blame it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. And so desire is that thing that helps you. Desire and your rudder is the thing that helps you navigate through the sea of life. The third thing you have on your boat is your crew. These are the people you permit to come onto your boat, to be involved in your life, to help you go from point A to point B. Your crew can either help you, if you're all, you know, the mastermind principle says that when two or more gather on one accord, I am among them, the I am power, the making power. So if your crew is on one accord, then you can get where you want to go much quicker. But if your crew is not, they can slow you down. They can literally help you lose direction so that you never achieve your goals. Look at how many people have been pulled away. Good young people have been pulled away and their lives transformed by hanging out with the wrong people, the wrong crew. And then finally, we have the sails. So your ship has sails, and the sails represent your attitude. Your attitude is what helps you navigate regardless of how the wind is blowing. The same wind that can blow over the tower can blow your ship to glory, to success. But it's all in your attitude. You think about Thomas Edison. If he had had an attitude of failure, then when the reporter said, said to him, "You have failed to identify this filament thing for over 3,000 times." Edison had an attitude of success where he said he flipped the switch and said, "No, I've successfully identified 3,000 ways that will not work." Oprah Winfrey said, "When you have the ability to adjust your attitude, you can recreate the world exactly the way you want it to be." Let me read that again. Oprah said, "When you have the ability to adjust your attitude, you can recreate the world exactly the way you want it to be." So when we look at this now, at this point, we're saying that this vision of us being on the sea of life, on the river of life, and this desire to close out strong and open even stronger. Where do we go from here now that we have this perspective? Well, number one, don't wait until the game is over to try to figure out what's went wrong or went right. To always be in that growth mode. To always assess and address. In other words, to be intentional and attentional. 2, to assess and address on a daily basis. In fact, assess and address on a moment-to-moment basis. If you want to make the changes in your life you desire, then every moment you ask yourself, what is the best use of my time right now? When I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose. 3, you got to take responsibility. You see, anything you don't take responsibility for, you can't fix. And so when people make excuses, when people blame others, they literally perpetuate the very condition that they are complaining about. So you must take responsibility to make it right, to make it good. And then 4th, you must be committed to excellence. I say you must be committed to get better and better every day. Every day and every way I get better and better. Wow. Dr. Musa said 27 more days in the 4th quarter of the year. Yes, yes, yes. So this is like a method of operation to always assess and address. Don't wait until the end of the week or the end of the month. You see, if you take care of it on a daily basis, the week is taken care of. If you take care of it on a weekly basis, then the month is taken care of. And if you take care of it on a monthly basis, the year is taken care of. So our method of operation is really, we call it the methodology. Assess and address, operate on a daily basis, take responsibility, and commit to excellence. So how do we get better and better? I think that's the key. We've come down this path. How do we get better and better? And I like to look at, I call them the 4 steps. Number 1, to realize that everything begins in thought. Earl Nightingale said, you become what you think about most of the time. If you control your thoughts, then you can control your emotions. If you control your thoughts, you can then control your habits. If you control your thoughts, you can control your relationships. So number 1, everything begins in thought. A process to get better and better. Number 2, to be constant in your efforts. Don't stop for rest and reward too soon. As you're on your journey, be constant in your efforts to continuously and continually work at your goals. Work at the thing you want to be, do, and have. Remember that vision we said, and I think question 8, what will my life look like if I improve my performance next year? To keep focusing on it and to work at it constantly. Number 3, get away from the crowd at the bottom. You know, a lot of times there are people around us who can't make the journey with us. Too often we see situations where other people entice a good person to go down a wrong path. Get away from the crowd at the bottom. Not that you're being elitist, it's just that their vibration is different. Your success is a personal journey, and any vibration that interacts with yours that is not supportive and enhancing and uplifting will undermine you. And then finally, the fourth key. Be willing to change your life completely. Be willing to change your life completely. If you don't change, it won't happen. One of the great ones once said that the ability to change is a measure of your intelligence. Albert Einstein said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. And so what we're saying is that as you begin to transform this year to make next year the way that you want it to be, you have to always be willing to change your life completely, to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until you get what you want, until you become the person you want to be, having the things you want to have and going wherever you want to go. And so let us wrap up today. We've covered a lot today, but let's give a quick overview. Number one, get a planner. Get a notebook and a planner and commit to live your life by the book. Number two, look at the holistic approach to life. Look at the 6 areas: the personal, the family, the professional, the financial, the spiritual, the community. To answer those 9 questions that we went over, from what were my goals to what will happen if I don't improve my performance next year. And then develop a daily method of operation, of assessing your situation every day, of taking responsibility for the outcomes, and of getting better and better. And then finally, to create that mindset to get better, that 4-step process to get better. To realize that everything begins in thought. To don't stop for rest and reward too soon. To get away from the crowd at the bottom. And to be willing to change your life completely. If you can do these things, then you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. And you can have whatever you desire. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Let me remind each and every one of you as we close out this year. The teachings are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And this is your recipe book for success, a book for you to help you be better in each and every day in each and every way. A book for you to share with others. Anyone you really care about that would like to see their lives transformed, this book can help you do it. It's available at our website, www.12uls.com. That's www.12uls.com. And so once again, tune in next week for part 3 of this 4-part series to help you create the new you for the new year. And so it is. The best is yet